Good afternoon. Pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Pleasant good afternoon, the people of Caroni Central and the supporters of the United National Congress. As we are seeing in Trinidad and Tobago, we are in the midst of a state of emergency for which there is very little clarification as to what are the strategic intents and what is required during this time in the sense of what are their aims and objectives. Following on from that mystery, we have a lot of instability in the country. We have a lot of developments that show that there is a lot of work that has to do more with other things rather than the safety and security of the nation state of Trinidad and Tobago. At this time, like no other time, we need to reflect deeply on our aspirations as a people and what direction we want this country to take. We have been here for 9 years. I have personally seen the removal of empowerment tools, the removal of financial support, the removal of programs dedicated to the elderly, to the poor, to help them, to support them. I've seen them being eroded and stripped away while we continue to say nothing. Today, a group, the Cerebral Palsy Society and Association, have to depend on private institutions to have meetings when we built an empowerment center at Castlefield, which is in the constituency of Caroni Central. For 9 years, we've been protesting, talking, and the last time I approached this group, they were very scared to talk because they would even lose the very facility that they were given by a private business person and networked to by persons in Chaguanas. So we have to reflect deeply as a society where we want to go. We have to begin to stand up and make our own decisions, or we will face the consequences of them. This is 9 years, and in a couple months, we have serious decisions to make as a people and as a society. Representation for me has been a way of life because I didn't choose politics. I didn't go to study political science and decide well, this thing looked real good. I was actually born in a political home, and at 8 years old, my father, who was the chairman of the Alcoholics Anonymous group, was chosen by the village because he was seen as a leader with the young people to keep them away from a destructive lifestyle, and some of them who had destroyed their lives to rebuild them. And that was a positive human empowerment story that the ULF wanted to tell. And he joined forces with Mr. Basdeo Pandey, Sahadeo Basdeo, Govindra Rupnarayan, and fought a seat that was a PNM held by Mr. Ramjalak Singh and beat him in the election and became the ULF candidate for that seat. And it was then that the ULF would have joined with the ONR and the TAPIA and other smaller parties, the DAC, the Democratic Action Congress, from Tobago. And they would have formed the NAR that wiped out the PNM 333. I am seeing in the horizon a similar occurrence because people are fed up. People have been at the pump. It's rising and rising and rising. I would remember the day when half a tank of diesel would be $60. It's now like $200, half a tank, if you want to top up. And those who own super vehicles, that's 340, 360 for a small little vehicle. As it put, you have to pocket, you have to put out of your pocket $300 to get to work. The grocery is a place that you visit to get what you have to get. It's no longer where the whole family comes out and everybody grabbing something and throwing it into, the grocery bin and moving around having a fun time. You go in there, get what you want, and get out of there because you may not have money to pay on your Lynx card, might not be able to take the load. Let's get up and get. Let's get serious. Right now, in my community, where I work every day in Freeport, I have a school closed for about 3 months now. Right? You have children just out of school. Then you have a big school built but not finished, and you have the children rammed into a community center. Enough is enough. Freeport has had enough. And when you mess with the children, you're messing with the future. When you discriminate geographically against people, you affect the entire country. Because if you have an area where the children is uneducated, undereducated, or not privileged, what will they do? They will turn to negative forces and evil and crime, and they will be poor and they will be desperate, and they will not have good jobs, and they will be a bleed on the society for social services, health. Stop the discrimination, fix the schools. One is a rat infestation, the secondary school, and the other one is you have thrown children into a community center for 8 years. Be fair, be real, and if you're not, the people are going to demand change. I've seen some of these things. I've seen the roads, the state of the roads in Caroni Central. It's appalling. And there's no self-effort, there's no corporation effort and a private sector to come and, just fix some of the potholes. I do not have the authority, but I've been looking on, and I have the heart, and I have the passion, and the people came to me. And I'm going to support them all the way. And that's why I want you to come out to my screening. If you mean business, come out and let us show that Caroni Central wants change. Caroni Central wants representative. If you don't come, you ain't going to get it. It's all up to you. It's in your hands. I tried. I put out my application. I've met all the qualifications. I've paid the fees. I've had the meetings with the people. I have a manifesto which I will talk to you about more. But if you don't vote, you don't matter. If you don't come out to my screening and stand with me, I cannot stand with you. Do not ask me why I wasn't chosen. If you don't come, do not ask me. Just know that if you stay away, you lose. You want change? Come and stand for it. Make the effort. Take the time off. As soon as this date is announced, we'll give it to you. Be there. Be square. Be fair. And fairness will prevail. Yeah, good. Yeah, you want me to come strong.